Innovation? It works here. Manufacturing breakthroughs, creating game changers, inventing ideas that work. Now, we're exporting intelligence and mining minds. Because innovation works here. Building better, developing brilliance, unleashing productivity. Because innovation works here. Thinking, doing, sharing. Talent works here. Curious minds work here. Innovation works here.
I'm doing a swap!
So you have an item you no longer want, but need something in return for it. That new bag you got as a gift is no longer appealing to you. Your old furniture suddenly wouldn't fit into your new apartment. Your car has suddenly lost its X factor.
I have my cabinet and I'm living in a small apartment, so I want to get rid of my cabinet because it's too big.
في عندي اللابتوب بتاعي القديم.
Clothes items mainly, because you know us girls we shop a lot. Sports items, furniture.
I guess moreover mobile phones.
My books.
Lots of shoes and lots of handbags.
Tired of not getting any response from potential buyers when you tried selling it online? Tired of this ridiculous price they want to offer you for your item? Tired of waiting? Tired of giving out your items away as gifts because of the hustle you go through? Tired of being tired? Find Swapaholics. Find happiness.
Well, today on Meet the Boss, we are talking to Swapaholics. They are doing this in a very innovative way. Talking to one of the founders, Francis Obirinkorang, on Meet the Boss today. Francis, thank you so much for joining us on Meet the Boss.
Thank you very much, Chris, for having me.
Great to have you as well. So Swapaholics, I mean, anybody who listens to this idea is completely blown away because it's different from the kind of e-commerce platforms that we have where people sell stuff for money. This time you are bringing traditional barter system, swapping that we do at Tiptoe Lane online. Tell us about Swapaholics and how the idea all came about.
It was an idea that was born out of the Tiptoe Lane, as you said, so we call it the Tiptoe Lane principle.
Yeah,
so I think one day my co-founder and I, Michael, we were actually roaming through Circle, and then we were looking for a phone to buy. So we were one of those shops, you know how Tiptoe Lane, they have these small shops that people actually walk in and then sell. So we're looking for a phone, so the guy said he's going to bring one. That's what they actually do. So within that space of 30 minutes, we saw people come in. One guy comes to the phone and say, "Oh, boss, I want to swap this phone. Do you have LG, whatever?" Then the guy said, "No, I don't have. Let me inspect the phone and the rest." So within a period of time, we've seen about 3 people coming in to swap. So once we left the place, I told my co-founder, this is something we can look at. This is something that's already happening. It's an idea that people go to the market to swap things. Barter has been with us for a long time, even before the inception of money. So why don't we create a platform different from the e-commerce platform that is classified, where we allow people to swap without the need for money? Because you might, for the current e-commerce platform, if I need to go, I need to buy something, I need to go online, look at the price, look at my budget, look at the money I have, and then place the order. Sometimes I want a very beautiful camera. My budget, my money doesn't get to that limit. So I just have to abandon the idea of owning anything. But everybody owns something. Nobody's in the world that doesn't own anything. So you can trade something for what you have with what you want. So let's say you have a phone. I like to use the phone as an example because it's something that a lot of people use phones in Ghana. So you are tired of the phone. People always want varieties. It's the spice of life. You use a phone for 6 months, you are tired. You want a new one. You use a car for a few months, you want a new one. So instead of selling it, the 3-way approach currently on the e-commerce platform is put it online, sell it, and then go and buy a new item. So we are trying to make it a 2-way approach. Don't go to the 3-way approach where somebody will devalue your item and give you a different price for it. Put it online, specify what you want, and then swap it. So you don't go to the 3-way approach, you go to a 2-way approach where you just get what you want in return for what you need.
So mostly you don't really have to value what the two products that are being exchanged.
So one of the critical questions that always come up is valuation, because everybody always want to hedge the valuation of their products.
Exactly.
So what people actually do on the traditional platform is they tell you, I have maybe a Toyota 2007 model, I bought it for X amount, I'm selling it for X minus 2 because where you see people writing slightly used, and nobody can quantify slightly used. You don't know whether slightly used is in a period of 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 6 months. So what we do is we have a valuation algorithm within the platform. What we try to do is every gadget has a date of manufacture. So what we use is we put in the date of manufacture, we put in the depreciation value, then we calculate a fair market price for you. So you can't say I've used this slightly, so it's worth X amount when actually it's worth Y amount. So we actually give you, yes, it gives you the fair market value. So you know you are trading for, you are getting near value to the amount that is supposed to be sold at that time of the condition of the device.
So you really don't have problems in that. What are the most interesting things that you've seen people try to swap on Swapaholics?
That's a very funny question. When we actually launched the beta version, I think what we do is we go through the approval phase to prevent people from posting any item on the platform. So we saw one thing, somebody posted, I want to swap my sister for maybe 10,000 cedis. She's at home, she's eating, she's not working. So that was a really funny swap. And then it was, and one guy said, I think he had this one of these TV decoders. He says he doesn't like one of the telenovelas that shows he wants to swap a multi TV for a Go TV decoder and the rest. So people have various kinds of different analogy they want to swap.
But of course, people also come with very serious stuff. One thing you told me some time ago was someone wanting to swap like a Range Rover for some plots of land, for example. That's really classic.
Yeah, so that the land swapping thing actually happens a lot, especially if you take places like places out of Accra. So you take maybe Oibi, Dodowa, Pram, Dovenya, and the rest. People actually want cars, and then they have vast plots of land. So when they sell the land, they go and buy cars. So why don't you give me the car for the land? So they say, okay, for this 4 plots of land, bring me a Range Rover, and then they just swap it. It happens a lot. So we've seen people trying to swap plots of land for cars and vice versa.
So much value, so much value. I see. So let's talk about the entrepreneurial journey. What's your background?
So my brief background, I'm a graduate from KNUST. I studied materials engineering. It has nothing to do with
what you are doing
what
now.
I'm doing now.
The paradox of life.
The paradox of life. So what my passion for IT grew when I think during national services, I was posted to CSIR, Council for Scientific and Industrial Research. And then it was virtually, we didn't do much. I was in the material section department. So you go to the office, you sit in the office, you listen to radio all day. If there's a job, come and help me do this, come and help me do that. And I saw I was wasting my time. So what I did was I was reading the newspaper and I saw Cisco certified network advertised by Kofi Annan ICT. And then it was a program I really wanted to take interest in. So I went to the campus, pick an application form, and then I applied. So during national service, I closed for national service, I go for the school and the rest. So that was when my passion for IT started. So immediately after graduating from Kofi Annan, I got I've been working in IT companies. I've worked in software companies. I've worked in Isoko, I've worked in Corners, I've worked in Tex Ghana. So combining all this IT infrastructure, I said, oh, why don't you build something on your own?
How has traction been for Swapaholics so far? And I know, of course, in the normal chain of it, you have to do your normal market assessment. Then when you have the MVP, you attack the markets more forcefully. So in all of those, what are some of the things that you picked up?
Prior to when we got accepted into the accelerator in Dubai, we launched the beta version in Ghana. So we were testing the market. So what we did was we put a platform out there, let people use it and get the feedback of what people actually want. So we noticed a high traffic of the things people want to swap was electronic devices. That constitutes about 95%. So
let's talk about that a little more. But I will want us to start from the competition that you faced and your growth strategy. I think that answering that question will be very important for every young entrepreneur growing up in this climate. How do you deal with competition as a techpreneur and your growth strategy?
So definitely competition will always be there, and there will be so many bottlenecks. You can't have things easy. You can dream of that beautiful idea. You wake up one day, oh, okay, I want to build the next big thing. Fine, that's a classic example of, that's the beginning of entrepreneurship. Sadly, that's the minutest part of it. Getting to market, getting the right team of people. So you can't do everything by yourself. Definitely you need people to help you. You might come up with the idea, you are a tech person, you need a business person, because it has to be a balanced team. You can't have a team full of tech people. How do you sell the products? You can't have a team full of business people. How do you build the product? So you keep a balanced team. So sourcing for the right team people to into your team is a problem. Because one, no, you don't have money. You can't pay them. You can't pay them salaries. So okay, I can't pay you X amount of money this month. So I'll give you this amount of equity in my business. But not many people have the long vision to say that okay, this thing is going to be great in maybe 3 years or 4 years. So I'll take the equity. So you are going to have challenges in human resources, capital, and then even technological resources, because we are in a climate where you don't get to have first-hand information of new software that come out. Our internet cannot allow you to download things over 10 gig and the rest. It's limiting. You need to pay a lot of money to get a lot of bandwidth and the rest. So you find out all these limiting things. But the thing is, you start small. As you said, the minimum viable product. You build something that you test the market with. You talk to people. I have this concept I want to bring out. What's your idea on it? They give you feedback. Then you put out the product there. Let people use it. Get their feedback. As the feedback comes, you iterate, you change it, and then once you get initial customers, sign people on. Trust me, you have to do a lot of yourself, because you are understaffed. You have to do the selling, the talking, development, and everything. Because you will be a team of about 3, 4, maximum 5 people. 5 is even a lot for somebody who doesn't even have funding.
But operating in Ghana, for example, is a great idea that you have. We talk to some people, like the idea, like, oh yes, some people have heard of you, not many people have heard of you. So what does that say about your marketing strategy and how you're going about marketing?
So as a startup, you are always faced with a marketing budget, because you don't have money. And what we do is you rely mostly on social media. And social media has very limiting effect in our markets, especially in the market we're operating. You can put something on Facebook, not many people see it. It's your friends of the friends who get to see it. And it's very limited. You are operating within you can boost your page for exposure. But trust me, nothing works in our market like TV and radio, newspaper advertisements. You do 1, 2, 3, it catches on.
Don't you get scared that with this great idea, someone may just come with bigger budgets and just...
I think if you operate in this tech space, you don't need to get scared, because I always insist, somebody can steal your idea, but they don't know what you're going to do next. It's easy, and if you steal an idea, trust me, you end up burning out, because you don't know, it was not your passion. You don't have the long roadmap for it. You just take the short roadmap. Okay, we need a platform that can help people swap. After what next? So if people are swapping, what next? What are you going to bring next? So fine, people can steal your idea, which means your idea is good. If people are trying to steal with me, your idea is good. You always survive. You always have your family.
Do you have personal stories of that happening?
Yes, I do. I think in one of the accelerators in Dubai, it has a lot of people coming through to talk to you. A lot of people from different cultural backgrounds. So I think in one of the discussions, I was talking to one guy from this Asian country. I'll not mention the country itself. So he came and he was asking for the idea. Oh, it's a nice idea. Tell me more about it. I'm interested. I might be willing to invest and the rest. And then, fine. At the point you don't know why you're saying too much. So I gave him the idea and the rest. So for us, I think for about a month, 2 months down the line, we saw online that somebody has launched something very similar in India. And then I knew it was the guy who had behind the idea, and then they've gotten massive funding. But trust me, the market is huge for everybody to get to share. Don't really bother yourself, somebody going to steal idea and burn you out. Do what you have to do, innovate, and then you survive.
What does the future hold for Swapaholics?
So the future, I cannot foretell the future, but based on current incidents, the future is actually bright. Because I always say, luck like persistent people. So the more you persist, the more you get to meet people, the more doors open for you, and the more you get to put your markets out there. So it might start small, it grows. It's like a seed. You plant a seed in the ground, it germinates, it goes to become an oak tree. So now we are growing. So I know we are going to grow to become one of the biggest oak trees in Africa and in the emerging markets.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Francis Obirinkorang of Swapaholics. I mean, come on, if you're not blown away by what they are doing, then challenge your expectations, well, which is quite good. But yeah, what they are doing is really, really great. The hope always is to make sure these stories inspire you as well, and also tell the story of a Ghana and an Africa rising. That has been Meet the Boss. My name is Emmanuel Quest.